What's going on, guys? We're here with a brand new video. UFC is going to be back in San Diego for the first time in 7 years. Very long time to not be back in a city as popular as San Diego. One of the most beautiful cities in all the United States of America. And definitely the most beautiful city in California, if you ask me. It's absolutely gorgeous. But it's going to host a good amount of fights this weekend for the UFC. And I'm not going to lie, this isn't going to be the most stacked card that the UFC has put on this year. It's a pretty low-key fight night, so it's going to be a lot of fighters that you never really heard of before. And the co-main event is going to be David Onama, who's 10-1 in the UFC, 100% finish rate, with 6 KOs, 4 submissions, versus Nate Landwehr, 15-4, 2-2 in the UFC. I think this is going to be an interesting fight because David Onama, like I said, he's got a lot of power. His lone loss was also in the UFC against Mason Jones at 155 pounds. As we all know, David Onama is a 145 pounder. He took that fight against Mason Jones up a weight class on short notice, and as a result, he ended up losing that in a very close fight. I believe the only reason why he lost that fight is because he got taken down, and every single time he got taken down, it was extremely hard for him to get back up in his feet because of the size difference. But when it was on the feet, he kept on tagging Mason Jones extremely hard with really nice, precise combinations. And at the end of the fight, if the fight was based on damage, David Onama definitely would have won because Mason Jones was busted up wide open plenty of times in that fight, and it looked like he had got beaten up by a Mack truck, by the smaller, lesser fighter that came up a weight class. Which goes to show that David Onama is a very powerful individual, but it isn't only always done on the feet, he also gets it done on the ground as well. Then you got Nate Landwehr, and if we all know Nate Landwehr, he's a little bit crazy. He's from the South, he's from Mississippi, but he's also a good fighter. You know, even though he's 2-2 in the UFC, he currently trains over at MMA Masters, and they've been able to hone his skills to the absolute best of their abilities. And he's becoming a better mixed martial artist and a better fighter at the same time, kind of understanding where his career is from a different life perspective. In his last fight, definitely showed that he's been making leaps and bounds from his game. He ended up fighting Ludwig Klein during his last fight. Ludwig Klein is very dangerous and a very skilled fighter and an individual, but he was able to take it to him. He was able to smother him. He was able to take him down to the ground. He was able to outpoint him and ended up winning the fight by unanimous decision. So Nate Landwehr, even though not a lot of people really know who he is as a fighter, who he is as a person, he's still a very dangerous individual at the same exact time. He likes to be crazy. He likes to be creative inside the octagon. He likes to pour on the pressure, and he's not afraid to get in the fist fight. But if I'm him, definitely try to go for the takedowns against David Onama. But David Onama is also very good on the ground as well. So if he tries going in for the takedown, he's definitely going to be faced with some sprawling attempts, some underhooks, overhooks, you name it. You know, David Onama is not an easy individual to get down to the mat, especially in the featherweight division. And Nate Landwehr, like I said, he's going to have to make this fight into an ugly one, but he's going to have to be as cautious as possible because of the power that David Onama brings. He's going to have to watch out for the combinations. He's going to have to watch out for the right hook because it's absolutely deadly. It can put you out in any single moment of the fight. Also, if I'm him, I'm going to be using my movement the whole entire time. I'm not going to be a standing target. You're going to want to move to the left. You're going to want to move to the right. You're going to want to circle around the octagon the whole entire time. Keep your movement as constant as possible because as soon as you're stuck in one spot for more than 3 to 4 seconds, that's enough time for David Onama to capitalize on the opportunity and take you out as fast as possible. So if I'm Nate Landwehr, the keys to success in this fight is that you want to make it as ugly as possible. You want to keep constant movement, and you're always going to want to move your head because it's always going to be the main target that Onama is going to go for. And if I'm David Onama, I'm just going to pressure the whole entire time. As soon as you get Nate Landwehr's back against the cage or touching the cage at least, that's where you go in for the combinations. You want to work to the body, make your way up to the head. You definitely want to throw some feints in there. And also some feints with some leg kicks as well. You know, there's not a lot of times that we've seen David Onama use leg kicks. It's mostly done with his fists. I'd like to see him throw some calf kicks in there. I'd like to see him fake the calf kicks as well. Fake going low and go high instead. Really surprise Nate Landwehr and try to get him out of there as fast as possible. Obviously, if the knockout isn't going to come, then try to get him down to the mat as fast as possible. rain down a couple nice shots, some ground and pound, and get him flat on his stomach to be able to finish him off. If that isn't going to work off, then definitely try going in for the rear naked choke, or try going in for an armbar, anything that you can be able to use in order to win via submission. And like I said, David Onama has only been tested once in his career in the UFC, going up a weight class against Mason Jones, who is a great prospect in the 155-pound division. Still young, still green in his career, but still going up from there, and so is David Onama as well. I think David Onama is going to win this fight via knockouts in the first round. I think he gets it done pretty quick. The only reason why it took him to the second round to take out his last opponent is because he had history with him. They had fought before in the past in the regional scene, and so those two had a little bit of history, a little bit of animosity towards each other, and he wanted to prove a point, but his opponent definitely put up a lot of fight, and that's why it took him that long in order to finish him. But other than that, I think David Onama will be able to get him out of there in the first round, and I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think it's going to be an interesting fight until the very end of it, where I think it's going to end in a knockout. So definitely prepare for a fast ending to this fight, and it's going to be entertaining until we get that finish. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video. It's definitely going to be a good fight. It's not what I really would have thought to be a co-main event, especially going before the fight that it's going to be before, which is Chito Vera versus Dominic Cruz. There's a high-level bantamweight fight and definitely title contention on the line on that fight. I didn't really think this type of fight would be the co-headliner, but it's great for both those individuals, get their name out there, put some notoriety on themselves as well. I think it's going to be a great fight while it lasts, and I definitely hope that you guys enjoy it. Stay safe, stay blessed, guys. Take it easy. We'll talk soon. Later.